Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hooks Gamer here. We're back with Anno 1800. We're looking at our Manola, where Golden Goal Festival is at the moment happening. There's actually a lot of things that I'd like to cover in this episode. What we're gonna do to do this, because there's so many things I need to actually look into. We will be we'll jump into a time lapse basically, or a speed build, or whatever you want to call it. But it'll be sped up because there's really loads I have to do. So first of all, we haven't got enough sugar cane.
A fire broke out.
You can tell this is completely depleted. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that we will need more coconut oil and more of the citrus and all of the good stuff, because we need to supply lemonade and all the different things. So we have to get that going. Now what's going on here? Now there was issue with clay. I think I have that fixed. Basically, let me just show you what I did. I have constructed these things. So the wood power plant here, which as you can see is just working overtime, and that supplies actually all of them. It reaches all four. All three, and this additionally, right? So this gives us extra wood. I'm gonna construct another one here because we have enough wood for everyone, and then there is a coal one here. Now the only thing with coal is I do think that's enough. I'm just not quite sure. Yeah, so it's literally exactly the amount needed, so that's good. And then as you can see, although no, 9. Okay. So this says 9 and that's 16. So I'm just gonna grab another one, that's fine. We just need a few bricks to be brought over to this island. So let me just grab 100.
On our way.
Okay, what's going on? There's some ruins, as always. So that'll be okay. Meanwhile, let's just get the expedition. I have started another one. Tavern Troubles. Yeah, again, doesn't matter. I just choose whatever is handy. Okay, so that's pretty good. There's an item. Yeah, so this has just finished just before we said hello. And there's an item that I'd like to place for the light bulb factories. Now, let me just show you. Money is so good. Okay, yeah. So this isn't doing too good, I suppose. So let me just grab... I think one will be enough. I'm not sure if that's the case, but we'll find out very soon. Yeah, look here.
I'll do.
Is this now sufficient? It's kind of annoying it doesn't say. What we can do to speed this up is if you go to your trees and then just plaster the whole thing with trees, and there you go, right? So this is now working because it doesn't have to plant anything, and yeah, we're producing extra. So that's good. That's really everything we needed to do here. So that's working away. Actually, the reason you see the white trees over here is because I've placed... Because I wanted to test it out. If you place anything else, like the cherry wood or the orchard wood, whatever, it doesn't work. The game removes it. It actually takes even longer to grow them. It then removes them. So that's what it is. So that's okay. Okay, so that's pretty much this is sorted. Now we'll have to get our ships. So first of all, I want to use those because they're just dormant doing absolutely nothing. So what we're gonna do is to grab them and start delivering things to different places basically. So let me just go to Old World. We'll get the... Oh man, what's the name of that? Wooden, yeah, this wooden jewelry. Jewelry. Okay. The spelling of it is all over, but anyway, that's fine. So that's that. I remember spectacles as well are needed. And there was another thing needed. Oh, rum. Okay, so spectacles. Just want to see. Yeah, there isn't. But that should be enough for everyone. So I wonder actually. But anyway, we'll check that out. It'll be stealing
Some nice little slivers in there.
spectacles. See, I told you, spelling is all over. Okay, so that's fine. Then rum from Manola. Where's Manola? New World. Okay, and that is Old World. Rum. Perfect. Okay, so that couldn't be better. Well, it could always be better, I suppose, but it'll do for now. Because then they'll need like biscuits and whatever, so I'm not going into those territories just quite yet. Okay, so we've 3 spare ships. Now we will be producing quite more. Oh yeah, I was able to get the hydraulic crane as well, so that's here now. And another guy, it's just that he doesn't have space anymore. So I think what I'm gonna do is to just expand the docks completely. Let me just hold shift, have all of it done. Okay, so that should be fine. Now, I think there are a few other modules that are available. Yes, there are. Okay, so we can't really do too many things, I suppose, because of the way everything is laid out. Apart from just going here. So that's what we'll do. Now, let me just see. Yeah, see, everything here is just exhausted. I mean, I could probably add here, but this won't look very good.
Disobey's a pretty way.
This guy just needs to be twisted.
Look at you swagger.
V. What's this? Oh yeah, exclusive resource. We don't want to do that. Okay, so we will go for some ships, right? So I think I'll be going for some of the destroyers. Ah, yes. So look at this, right? Because of all the different items, so like the shipbuilder, not so much, but this thing, the Naval Architect, Mr. Swell, then all the cranes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the construction cost is 0 for everything, apart from just influence points. And the same thing goes for here. So that is so good. Probably a bit OP, but look, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah, so we'll go for some ships. So we're going to go for destroyers. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at the influence points. Oh yeah, this gives us the first Sea Lord, which
Ready for action.
makes them even more OP. What's the
Gained an influence bonus.
where does it say? It doesn't say. Why doesn't it say?
Your harbor is
Attack
under attack.
speed in seconds, 5.6
Clear stations.
and 2.3. Yeah. Okay, harbor. We have a ship coming back, so it's fine. Okay, so that's fine. Let's just go back. I just want to look actually what does that do. That is speed, isn't it? Yeah, attack speed 25. Okay. We can't really see it properly, I think, with those ships. Or maybe we can. But let me just grab the bigger guy here. Yeah, see? So they're not affected, I think, anyway, because this item isn't here. I mean, they're OP as it is, so I don't really care that much, but yeah. Okay, so that's fine. Right, so that's sorted. Now let's come here and we'll do this, okay? So one shipyard will be focusing on these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other will be focusing on... I think I'd like to get some anti-air weapon. So damage per second 250. And this 100. Okay, so we're gonna go for these. I think a few as well. Now they do cost 10 influence. It's quite a bit. But that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, once they're finished, I'd like to go for something else. Not these guys, but where is the battle cruiser? Yeah, I think normal battle cruisers. Although the damage is really bad. Holy smokes. 89? That's what cargo ship does. 89 is really bad. Okay. So, I mean... Yeah, the wooden ship deals more damage, so that's strange, actually. I don't know. Anyway, that's fine. Let's leave that be. I think I'm just gonna go for... Decisions. I'd like to go for this guy. And I think what we'll do, though, is... Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna expand our... engineering base. So we'll need, let's just look, 37,000 more. That's the best way to check. $37,000. Holy smokes. Now, there is loads that can be done, okay? And that's what I'm jumping into the speed build to do. Because let me just show you, just as an example, this here is not covered. So there's a lot of people that we're missing because of that.
Is rather static.
And also, look, the medicine, right? So once medicine comes, that'll be additional money that we can grab. That's the best way to put it. Well, no, it's not about the money anymore. It's about actually having the people we need. Okay, and then this third one, I forgot completely, will be focusing on cargo ships. I think I'll just go for 10. He can just make them all the time at this point.
Call in the big guns.
Okay guys, so let's just jump into a speed build from here. Hello guys and welcome to the speed build. We're looking at doing so many different things, and at the very beginning I said that we're gonna go for the sugarcane, and sugarcane is actually something that I've forgotten to do, but I have fixed it in the end, but off the screen. So that's not a problem anyway, because there was really so much to do here. So we're really looking at so many different things to cover. Anyway, grab some popcorn and whatever else you fancy, and let's just look at those. So I kind of started, I suppose, thinking of, you know, making sure that the city is really properly a city here on Crown Falls. Now, you see me going back and forth doing things, right? So I will be switching between so many different regions, as the game really is. But I mainly will focus, I suppose, on Crown Falls. So first of all, what we're doing is that we're just adding all of the modules. Honestly, I didn't really want to add all of the export offices. It's just because every export office now with the mod costs the influence points. So it's actually 10 influence points, and we don't really need all of them, but at the same time I just wanted to have it done, and I know it's finished and that's it, right? Honestly, that was the best thing to do. Now I additionally want to have another one of the this is the special whatever job advertisement bureau. Well, it's not a bureau, it's a harbor office. But I think it's just additionally, although to be quite honest, after I've placed it, I'm not sure if that's working or not, or it's so hard to say. But it's supposed to be attracting more visitors, basically, to the island based on the module that you'll select. However, it's hard to say because we've got so many, not influence points, but the other ones. The beauty points, whatever they're called. Attractiveness, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. You know, so it's hard to know whether that's working at all or what's going on, or you know, whether this is just a chance or luck, or, you know, just the usual. Anyway, so you'll see me going here back and forth because I kind of wanted to keep these open, and with we had two modules to place, and I think I found the spot in between, but the gate module that one of the mods introduces is the best I found for this, right? Because it allows those little tiny ships. I don't know if you've ever guys noticed, but they're kind of pre-coded into the actual docklands, right? And they kind of just swim around the docklands. It's pretty good. Anyway, so I'm just checking out other buildings here. The chestnut stall, I think I'm not quite sure what it does. I know it provides chestnuts, obviously, and you need to build the chestnut orchard for it. But at the same time, I really don't know what it does per se. So that's what that's what I'll find out, and I wanted to check out. But in the end, because we're needing chestnuts, I kind of left it be. Anyway, the ships are producing, everything is kind of okay. You see me finishing things and, you know, starting expeditions and whatever. So I'll be doing that. We need a bit more items, especially when it comes to the what you call it? I'm lost for words today. You know, for like the museums and whatever, all the different things. Now I'm looking at the flak ironclad. It looks very bulky. I actually quite like it, and he's also very powerful. So I think I'm a bit surprised to see it, honestly, because against the airships that are, you know, I don't know what kind of a fleet they would need to have for those, you know, for those to be justifiable, I think, anyway. I think the hit points and their strength are way too high. I know they look pretty cool, actually. I very much like them, but I do think that they're a bit too strong. Just looking at the numbers, I haven't checked them out in action. Again, the AI doesn't seem to have too many of them, so we really would need to have like a fleet to deal with, you know, to really see. That'd actually be really cool if that was possible, you know, if an AI would have went for a big fleet of airships and launched like an air attack or something. That'd actually be so cool. But anyway, that's not happening in the game. You know, they have like a couple of them flying here and there, just annoying us rather than anything. And also do remember that one of the mods that I have, it's from the military attention, is actually introducing the mod. I don't know if it's military attention, but it's part of the that family. It's basically making airships shoot normal ships, right? However, they cannot shoot the airships back. So it makes it, you know, it was a nuisance in one of the very first episodes. I remember vividly. So yeah, but at this point, because we're friends really with everyone, Margaret isn't really building too much. So that's what's going on. Anyway, you see me now really upgrading everything. So I don't think, well, maybe in some of the mountainous regions of Crown Falls, we have the dirt road. Otherwise, everything is paved. And I do want to make sure that that's the case. So I'll have, I already did, I think, one of the airships basically going back and forth and delivering construction material, because it's really much needed. And Manola, well, not Manola, but this island here isn't really producing too much of it. Now, what I'm doing here, right, because I really haven't placed this road properly, and I decided that I'm just going for the tracks. We really don't need them, actually, because we can produce quite a lot of gas. Also, we have the wood not the wood chipper. Oh, it's called whatever, but it's from. I think they're called pallets or pellets, but it's one of the wooden basically fired plants. That's what it is. We have them on one of the islands in King's Grove. It costs 5,000, and then I think it takes artisans as well. So that's not an issue. Money isn't an issue anymore. Workforce on this island is an issue. Well, obviously, don't look at the engineering now because I've deleted so many houses, but I will work on it. Now this, I swear I thought I'll cry at some point. It is so fiddly. It either flickers or no, like it's just a no-go. Now I eventually did it. To be honest, I wanted to give up at some point, but no, I eventually did it. Don't ask me how, I can't even tell you. So if you're checking out that mod that allows you to build the the track on water, by all means. However, this was a nightmare. Now it eventually works anyhow, but as I say, it's just so fiddly. I think they're when they're apart the same way as you're seeing it now, they're perfect. There's no problem whatsoever. You're fine. But otherwise, it is, very, very fiddly. So it took me a while. And the good thing here, guys, is that you see it in like 4 times the speed. So for you might think, what is he talking about? But it took me really quite a while to do it. Now, I'm trying to figure out what trees to put here, because they look so out of place. But in the end, I was like, yeah, that's fine. Let's just leave it the way it is. But I'll actually then discover in a while that there is a mod that I've installed that allows for more trees. Let's put it that way, for to be placed on water. So that was actually very good for me to find. So I'll remove them in a while and then replace them with those. Anyway, so look, there isn't a beautification per se happening just quite yet, but as I say, I am on it. I'm adding things, and I definitely want to make sure that the Crown Falls has this city vibe about it, rather than just spaces here and there and whatever. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, I have decided that part of this episode also will be to put together a harbor city, as we call it. I suppose it'll be I think the biggest one I've ever done. It was quite interesting to do as well. It's definitely not finished, but the goal here is to make sure that we are getting 50,000 engineers, which then will allow us to have the sped up research, which I'm really after here. Research, some of you had said, which I was actually surprised by it, that you find it very useless. I mean, the Mbesa edition useless. I think as maybe Mbesa as a region is quite there could be definitely more done to it. The research is literally my favorite. Well, not my favorite, but one of the most favorite things in the game for me. So really, the fact that you can add items and whatever, because otherwise you reroll them and you'll be at it forever. Like your finger will fall off and you won't find what you're looking for. And again, I suppose my play style would be focusing heavily on those items, which others don't do, which I have mentioned before. And but yeah, so that's what it is. I suppose the game does allow you to do it and play with or without them, so you're free to do whatever you like, and to suit your play style. And some of the buildings, I suppose, pose a challenge because, for instance, even as an example, Town Hall has a limited amount of space, in a way of it doesn't fit. You need to destroy 4 houses to fit a town hall, basically, and then you'll have the space unused around it. Not much really to put in there, apart from little plaza or maybe, you know, park or whatever it is that the game has in terms of additional beautification items or whatever you want to call them. So I don't really have an idea what I'm supposed to do here, honestly. The placement of, to be honest, I would love a move tool, you know, the little hand that you can click and move things around. Because it's so super cool, but look, it's not a option because I've disabled it to make it as difficult as possible, and I really don't want to rebuild the entire fair from the beginning, so it's not gonna happen. The fair is now placed in such way, I suppose the fair maybe is okay, but the houses around it are in such way that it's bothering me. So it is what it is. So we just need to work with it. Now, I do like the addition of the downtown, which is allowing us to place some of the buildings instead of houses, right? So let's say you'll see me in a while. I will, because I've forgotten a couple of things to be built here and there, but it's just so easy just to place, like now, grab a hospital, grab a bank or whatever, remove one house instead of 27 of them. So it's just so handy. And really, I think anyway, if the game introduced it as a form of DLC, I would be first to buy it. You know, I know it's possible with mods or whatever, but I would literally be first to buy it. Now, I'm not saying a massive DLC, but let's say if it was introduced with one of the how do they call them? CDLCs, is it? Yeah, cosmetic DLCs. I'd be literally the first one to buy it. Even if they added like additional, you know, 1 or 2 euros or dollars extra, I'd be very happy to pay for that just to have those buildings. A mod is fine, absolutely. But if someone, I remember, you know, before I started playing with the mods, I always said I'll never play with them. I'm happy with the vanilla. But yeah, some buildings are so super cool. The guys really do a very nice job. I'm actually looking forward to the new Horizons that's coming out in a few days. I don't know if you guys had seen it, but it was announced. It's been in development a very long time, so I'm not really up to date in terms of changes and whatever. So I'm kind of keeping it as surprise for myself, I suppose. And then we'll see how it fits into this playthrough. I hope it does. I hope it's not gonna break anything, whatever. But I'm gonna make a copy of the save. Look, the game is saving every few minutes anyway, so it's gonna be fine. And check that out. So I'm pretty excited. I hope that there is a new region. Remember as well that we still have Mayhem to go to. I think. You know, I can go and do it now, to be honest. It's just, to be honest, it's not really needed right now, but we're kind of running out of space on Manola, New World and whatever, with the way I have it built. So I think the outer island will be quite nice because it's basically Crown Falls in the New World, right? Anyway, so what I'm doing, guys, is that I am adding as many items to the ships as we can. So whatever is available, I don't really get too stressed now. I'm not producing anything extra. I just want them to be slightly more, geared up rather than just empty ships, because we lose them very fast because the AI will definitely have items on theirs. Theirs are stronger than ours. That's another thing. So I do want to make sure that we don't lose them the first 2 minutes once we go to the war with AI. Now I'm just looking at what I'm doing here and I actually don't know what to say about this. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember. Okay, so I am just looking to figure out where the houses can fit. And it's just like, I really wish someone would come up with either a house or a mechanic in the game whereby, you know, the way, let's say, the beach or the shore ends and you have only 2 squares for it, for the shore, or the harbor buildings, and then the land buildings start, and you only have one. However, as you just guys saw, you know, for the harbor city houses, we needed one, and then for the land city houses, we needed 2. So I wish there was a sort of a mechanic, I suppose, that could marry both of them, and you could place something in those spaces. Now, it's not to say necessarily that you need to, or I need to have filled every single square and every single space in the city. However, I think that because you can't really even place any ornaments or anything like that very well. Often you struggle, or something that fits visually you can't place because whatever. Like, so I don't know. I think it's just a limitation to the game rather than because I'm sure I'm not the only one that struggles with you know, with that and that kind of unused silly space, because there's no other way to put it, and you can't really place anything there. And it's not quite the shore or the beach or whatever, or the harbor, but it's neither a city or the land, right? So it's just kind of in between. Sometimes it works quite well, you know, that you can place it and one starts and the other ends, and there's really not even a gap. The only gap, as you can see here, the only gap is the street, let's say, or something, you know, that you'd have to place anyway. So yeah, as you can see here, I cannot place it. It's so annoying, and that space now is completely unused. And then if you'll never be able to fit anything there to make it nice. So the only thing really is a plaza or your street, right, to make something out of it. Now, one thing, however, I noticed that with one of the mods, there is a thing which I actually regret using, but you'll guys see this. It's actually so silly. But basically what it allows you to do is to place almost trees suspended on, you know, on top of like a road or whatever. And it looks okay from afar, not so much from up close. The only thing is I've placed them and now I cannot delete them. So it's gonna be, yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping that after I reload the game, everything be back to normal. But it looks, yeah, it's annoyed me, to be honest. Once I've placed it, I was like, what's going on here? Now, 2 moments ago, I've just placed a little car. You can see it now on the UI. Basically, that car replaces, you know, the way they drive around in those steam carriages around the streets, but that car placed is just a static car that you can place anywhere as an ornament. However, it makes it so they're driving actually those little Ford cars around the city instead of steam carriages. It's actually so cool. You can place few of them. You can make, you know, like a little, I suppose, show or exhibition of cars in front of I don't know, maybe your townhouse or maybe one of the monuments or something like that, but they will start driving those. So I'll show you that in a moment, because I suppose I haven't really thought of checking it. I don't know if it's available immediately or if you need to wait a bit or whatever it is, but yeah, you'll definitely get a peek of it. Now I'm sending the ship again for an expedition, and we're building more houses. Now as we go, as we're getting more engineers, whatever, I will increase the amount that we're that are available and add them onto the research pool all the time. So as you can see here, the car, so it's actually so good. Now we will see more of them. So it's not like, you know, they're driving like maniacs around the city and racing or anything. But yeah, we'll definitely see more of them at some point. Now I'm just trying to work out what's the best way the most optimal to place this. The good old gas-fired station. Now, you may remember the moment we've arrived here. I suppose I've placed loads of buildings, one of them being the offices, right? Just to kind of make sure that everything is as optimal as possible. Now, I always forget that they are not really needed late game because not Manola, but Crown Falls will have like thousands of letters and they'll never be used. But I'm keep going strong because with the other mod, the items, is it item slots? If I remember correctly, the name of it is. You can press Shift and C at the same time, and that will unlock the actual slot for that building, and we can add those items, which I've been doing all the time. Now, I'm just wondering what I'm doing here. I remember now vividly. So basically, I did say that I don't want to be going for any crazy items. However, I do want to give them good items if we can, if we do find them. But I'm not particularly looking for them either and re-rolling and spending days at it. Just whatever is available. But also good items, because in Embase, as you may remember, the Vigenda is really gearing up towards something crazy. So because everyone else is happy and married, we're the only ones exposed because we're not. So honestly, it's just gonna be a matter of time whether, you know, he want like the paper, the whatever, or you know, upgrading some or whatever it is, because there's still more to come. Obviously, we need to expand into the big buildings, the skyscrapers, that's the word. And you know that they always have something objection, whatever. So he'll get -2, -3, and then it just goes down and the war starts. So with him, we really have to be very careful. And in Besa, we don't have anything. Now, in Besa really isn't that crucial, but you know, I wouldn't want to start losing regions. As well as that, you know, we do have to remember that it takes time. If I have fleet there, and by the time I'll transfer to another region more important, like the New World, you know, that it may be over. So that's not gonna be the easiest. So we do need a lot of ships, but I was thinking, I think we'll just go for easy battle cruisers. Now, definitely I'll go and make the heavy ones, because we've got the research sped up now, so it's gonna be much easier. But for the moment, obviously, we just need to go with whatever we've got. Now, the issue here is with wood, so we're really kind of struggling. Now I'm doing other things in the meantime anyway, and I'm buying those items, checking things out as well, because it seems that pretty good items are available at the same time. So I'm pretty happy with that. Some of them I think won't have too many, or if anything they'll have like 1 or 2. But look, we've got almost 500,000 every minute, 180 million in the bank. I think this went even higher by the end of this episode. We're probably looking at 300 or 400 at this point. So it's gonna be 1 billion, and you know the money won't budge anymore. So might as well just keep buying it. Make them stronger. But I promised myself, because I always kind of want to save them and want to make sure that they survive the attack, whatever, you know. So this time around, what I'm gonna do is just, if they get destroyed, they get destroyed, you know. I'm not gonna be stressing out. I'm not gonna be making sure that they have the flags, whatever. Now the big ones, yes, okay, because we've only 5, I think. So probably I would want to, it's just because as well, one ship takes like an hour to be built, so it's gonna be forever by the time we have them, if we are attacked. But yeah, battle cruisers, I think it's gonna be the way to go. Now I am finishing this area off because the amount of engineers is coming to close to 50,000, but definitely more needed. Utilizing these downtown buildings, very, very happy with them, because as I said, you can really place 4. Even little church fits, it's pretty cool. But yeah, 4 of them. Now we're being attacked here, so one of them actually, I'm happy. So now the only thing is that, look, he's got 4 items, right? But he is very powerful and he can chase them off and defend that little island. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're at 30,000. The influence points are being gathered. So we're back to proper numbers, but they will be spent all the time because we are going to be building them. Them ships. Now, don't ask me what I'm doing here, but I can tell you, I have absolutely no idea what sort of trees work with the cathedral. And also, I wasn't quite sure whether trees or maybe the flower thing. So I just decided to go with this. It kind of looks weird, out of place. I don't know. It's a space for now. I may just need more time and maybe we'll have and add different things, but for the moment these trees will stay because I absolutely have no clue what to do here. Maybe once I'll come across something, but I find it very hard to check every single thing and make sure that they fit, I suppose. And I suppose with so many mods I also cannot remember all of them and what I have, what I don't, until you kind of come across something and you're like, oh, it works. So I like this with the lights stopped, because remember, you can actually have them run around or just have them steady in one place without flickering. The cathedral actually looks like Notre Dame, so I'm really, well, sort of, right? Let's not get too carried away. But yeah, I really like it. I think it really looks very good. Oh, I forgot to mention actually. So I did have the mod that syncs your computer time, your real time with the game. I've turned it off just for the purpose of this, because you do want to check. Otherwise, the game just reverts it back to night, so you don't want that to happen. Anyway, I didn't want to say, but yeah, you guys just saw how many ships Vicente has. I think he's still gathering even more, so we were looking. I wasn't really looking and counting them, but there's easily like 60 ships, so that's gonna be epic once it happens. I really cannot wait. But yeah, at the same time, look, we do have to match him, right? Like, it's not gonna be, because otherwise he'll just arrive and take the island and that's it. So the couple of ships that we have, even if they're powerful, ain't gonna stop him. So anyway, so that's now, as you can see, 3,500 artisans. This island does not need artisans at all, especially that we have them through the shared workforce and whatever. So without houses, we've got like 900 of them or something. So that's loads. Anyway, I'm beginning to work on the Harbor City part of things. I'm actually very happy with the way it worked out. It took me a bit to figure out the style I suppose I want to go with. I was kind of adamant to make sure that we're continuing the road from the land. So that's why you see those two parallel lines. But then I realized that nothing really fits around it. If it fits, I'll have like a weird gap here and there where then a building won't fit. So what I figured to do is this. We'll have the square, which literally fits 7 houses, is it? No, 8. Yeah, 8 houses. Now, and then I was thinking to myself, what do we do in the middle, right? Like when I do this kind of a design, or this template, whatever you want to call it, I have, 3x3, there are parks or, something like that, basically, that you can place. But there isn't anything like that. However, I did find it, so you'll see it in a moment. Kind of looks weird, but I think it'll work once we get to like skyscrapers and bigger buildings. But obviously, with farmer houses, it kind of looks weird because they're ornamental buildings, if you will. But you'll see it and you'll know what I'm talking about in just a moment. So this one here needs to obviously stay next to the power plant. I'd love if there were more power plants available, like maybe not necessarily the wooden ones, but like the gas power plant would be so cool to have instead of the coal. I don't know. The coal is kind of, to my eyes anyway, it's dirty. And I think that has been removed, but before it used to be showing that the caused negative attractiveness, and somehow it's not there anymore. So I don't know whether it's because I have something that causes this or it's been removed. Either way, it doesn't have it currently. Anyway, as you can see, there's loads of ships. I'm trying to manage everything as efficiently as I can as we play. And I think loads of people have said that because there's so many moving parts, so many different things going on, some people do find it difficult, but it is what it is. Anyway, so as I said before, and I'll repeat it again, I am so like the biggest fan of those downtown buildings. I absolutely love them. They just fit into the theme so well. It's not just because of, obviously it's because of their size as well, but they're just fit into the theme and they belong like no other building or add-on or whatever in this game. Anyway, the other thing that I mentioned I wanted to do, we're producing the medicine because medicine will increase the amount of engineers, right? Because that's one of their additional needs, whatever. So that's what I want to do. And we already have everything on this island that produces it. So it's just a matter of literally having buildings that make them and then distributing it. And that's it. Now, at the same time, I'm adding items here and there just to make sure that we have everything optimized as much as we can. I have to be honest, okay, so I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this mechanic. So the way this is done here is that the industrial tannery, no, I don't think it's called tannery, but basically the industrial building that produces the tallow, once it's placed vis-a-vis, so literally next to the industrial building producing the hides, they both boost each other. If you have it in such way that, so they need to be literally parallel touching. If you have it in such way that it is placed vertically in a way that one on top, one on the bottom, then it's not working. So like I just don't understand. I wish there was either like a small radius, let's say, or just some sort of allowance for proximity, or whatever it is. Whether the usual circle that would appear is same as with, let's say, the potash and the glass that we have available, or whatever. But yeah, it just literally needs to be next to the other, otherwise it doesn't work. So you kind of need to be very mindful of it. I don't know if that's possible or not, but yeah, it'll be neat. But otherwise, you just really need to be very, very mindful that they boost each other. Now, unless you're not really into that, but you really would want to have a bonus of it, right? Because it just makes sense. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. I still have yet to add Sangakau, so that's on my list to do. I haven't really gotten around to it yet because Honestly, I think when I'm dealing with animal farms, they're the least favorite of mine. So that's a trivia for you to know, I suppose. You know, where yeah, when it comes to animal farms, I just don't get it. Yeah, because there's always so many of them, whatever, and it's very repetitive or something. I don't know. It's just, yeah. And I also find them dirty. That's another thing. But yeah, anyway, so that's fine. So that's that. The harbor now is built, I suppose. It'll have to be expanded because we'll need more workers, more engineers, whatever. That's the goal, as I mentioned. Now, this is where I'm looking to see if there's anything that we can fit in those gaps. As you can see, when it comes to the Docklands DLC, nothing. Like, there's literally nothing. It's either 2, 3, 2x2, 1x1, 4x4. No, not 4x4. There isn't. It's like 3x2, but weird one. There's nothing like that. There's nothing 3x3, like a house thing. So then I'm checking out the mods, and then I noticed that there were loads. There were loads, and some of them are very, very handy to be placed. Yeah, so now I found this, right? So this allows us to place, I suppose, a road kind of a thing, style. I don't know what it is, but I'm checking this out. Now, this is the floating plants, if you will. They don't work at all. Now, I found this building, so I thought it actually works okay, and it looked fine once we have them properly placed, because it's just an ornament. Now, I found the trees, so I'm just going to place them. Yeah, so you need to have the key placed first, otherwise you place them on the water and they'll build. Now, the only thing is they are all different. They look just completely out of whack. Now, what you're seeing or what you're watching is me trying to delete them. They don't delete. So I don't know like what is the... And I was holding a shift. I was holding everything on that keyboard. And it's just not working. So it's just annoyed me at that point, and that's why I said to myself, well, if I reload the game, maybe that'll work, but yet to be discovered. Anyway, so I'm trying to... What you're seeing me doing now is the game, this is so weird, but one of the... so there are two separate options. One is for ships that are angled. The other one is for the ships that are in 90 degrees and 45 degrees, basically. That's what it is. And I couldn't get the angled ones to be placed straight. So I was just keep pressing the... Is it Shift and V or whatever? And then I was pressing Shift and G and D. And I'm like, what is it? What am I pressing wrong? And then it's just a different category that the guys have put together for it, which is just next to it. And I suppose you're not really looking for it because the game allows you to, shift everything. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Found it, works. So I'm pretty happy with the piazza in front of the big town hall. It's just, it needs good items, but otherwise that's pretty much completed. I'm not going to be... maybe to the back of it, I've left a space. I think I'm going to go for like a park there from the... Was there like a park DLC or whatever? I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. So basically, I thought maybe I'll do that, or maybe once I discover the mods that I've installed a bit further, maybe something more interesting will pop up. Anyway, so I am now finishing off, guys, this area. Very happy with how it turned out, and more happy that I suppose it'll look even much better once it is completed. Yeah, 100%. I'll be adding more ships, the ornament ships that I was able to find. It'll look like a proper docks area, like a yard. Yeah, very happy with that one, honestly. It looks so well. So guys, well done on creating the mods that are really fit into the game. But yeah, we can really leave it here. Guys, thanks so much, okay? Take care and stay hooked.